So what is it like to constantly come up against this insanity? I know for me, it can really affect me mentally, and I have to really make a concerted effort to dive into the word. And obviously I'm still imperfect, but what is it like to have to face this like I do, like all the time in your face?
It's very, very hard. I mean, I went through kind of a spiritual attack last week, just feeling like if I scroll Instagram or want to look at what other content people are putting out, or what's the latest story, things like that are so upsetting. And when it's your full-time job, it really does get to you. And I'm certainly not a sociopath. Like, these things affect me emotionally. And even though I know God is in control, it's still one of those situations where I genuinely feel for the victim of whatever article it is we're reading. So if it's a mother who dumped her baby in a dumpster and, authorities found the baby dead, that is traumatizing to me. I just picture that child is a child of God, and that is a life lost that is being mourned in heaven. I'm like get emotional just talking about it. um, and that's one baby. So now, I think about like the 63 million babies a year that are aborted, and my faith and science tells me that those are humans that were meant to be created. Not only were they created, which is science, but that God, intentionally created him, which he tells us in Jeremiah, before I knit you in the womb, I knew you. He knows who we are before we're even conceived. And so when you really relate to humanity in a sense that, God tells me that he intends every person to be born, it affects me emotionally too, because I had an abortion when I was 20 and I have 3 children now. And I look at them and it's heartbreaking to think that I took a life away from this earth that God intended to exist. And I also kind of wonder if that's why we're not at the place that we're at in America. I believe everyone serves a purpose on this earth. And let's say that, I'm right, that my purpose is to be a very loud, influential conservative activist and speak up for women's rights and children and the unborn. And let's say my mom aborted me. If I didn't exist, what difference does my voice make in 2020 and for the rest of my life? And what difference would it have not made? Well, think about how many people had a purpose in this life, and it could have been very, very big, very big. The future cure for doctor that would have cured cancer. His mom aborted him. Who doesn't exist that would have made a difference in this world? And because we're killing people every day by the millions, by the thousands, and not blinking an eye, but we've created a humanity that no longer has God's purpose functioning in it. So all of this stuff, little girls being taken and raped in bathrooms because men identifying as women are allowed in there. This is heartbreaking. And yet we, the people that would stand up for this and would go charging into the bathroom with a firearm and protect that little girl, we would be the ones persecuted. We would be the ones assaulting and discriminating, and it would be considered a hate crime. And having the media propagate that idea that we should sit back and accept all of this no matter what the sacrifice is heartbreaking, especially for people like you and I and Brent and a lot of people, patriots, conservatives, Christians, doing everything they can to combat this, but then knowing that if they really were to go into full-blown battle with the armor of God and like with weapons protecting children, they would be the ones thrown in jail.
Oh yeah, absolutely.